What is good, y'all? Everyday Carry here, back with another video. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. As always, for daily EDC related content, head over to my Instagram at everyday.carry_. And let's get into it. Today, I just wanted to go over my EDC, the things I carry with me every single day. And where do I want to start? Let's start with this, the easiest thing. I always have a hank on me. This is just a normal bandana from Walmart, or I think from Target. It was like $3 for two of them. Can't go wrong with it. I haven't gotten any other hanks yet. I want to check out a bunch of other brands, just haven't gotten to it yet. So this has been in my pocket every day. There are things that, as we go forward with this, there are things that, like this specific black bandana is in my pocket every day. There are other things that I don't have specific single, like as far as like my knives go. I always carry a knife on me. That is part of my EDC, but the exact specific knife that I carry changes. So I want to go over the things that I carry every day, never changes. Part of that is going to be my Viperade. I think this is the VE1, but fits everything I need it to. I have my flashlight, my multi-tool, and a pen slot, as well as a top space where I keep my Gerber pry braid. We'll get back to that. But that goes in the top slot here. And in the back, I do keep my black Zippo. This also stays with me. This doesn't go anywhere if I'm not there. And the coins. These are the two coins I always have with me. You know what this is if you've been here before. For those of you that don't, this is a gift card from Disneyland. It's actually a big slab of piece of metal. And I thought it was cool, so I keep carrying it. And a 1971 US dollar coin. That goes in the back zipper here. This is always on me. I use this religiously. I haven't found a need to change it, so this has been the EDC pocket organizer that I've been carrying, the Viperade VE1. As well, for work, I use a Sharpie. On top of a normal pen, I do use a Sharpie. For marking pilot holes, I work in AC, so lots of drilling, lots of needing to mark and cut out things, so always have a Sharpie. Typically, I'll have a Milwaukee permanent marker. Those tend to work a lot better than the Sharpies do. I just ran out of them, and this was the backup that I carry in case one of my markers goes out. This is always on me. If you've been with me since my first video, you know what this is. This is my leather field notes cover. In here, there's some couple slots for cards, some cash, and in here, if you wanted to, you could put a second field notes, or you could have it where the spine is in the middle and it folds out that way. This is how I tend to carry it, with this exact field notes that's been in here with my video ideas and such. As well as the pen that I've been carrying for about the last month and a half. And this is the Bastion aluminum bolt action pen. Absolutely love this thing. Thank you again for Bastion for sending this over. This video is not sponsored by them, but they did send me this. I did a review of this in my last video talking about EDC pens, but this thing is amazing. I absolutely love this. Everything here, again, I'm gonna link down in the description below, so if you see anything that catches your eye here, it will be in the description. So, leather field notes cover. As far as my wallet, I carry a Whitstable Craft Co. This is the Castle card holder. It fits up to 8 cards, and I have 2 on either side. My ID, money, and just some miscellaneous cards in the middle. This thing is fantastic. For about $60, you get a handcrafted Italian sourced leather. My buddy James is based out of the UK and does amazing work with all these wallets. So if you're in the market for a minimalist wallet, go check them out. Some of you, this next thing is gonna be unusual, but I carry it pretty much every day. This one isn't necessarily every day, but I always tend to carry playing cards with me. I really like playing cards. It's something that I picked up during COVID, was just like learning how to do magic tricks and stuff. Kind of went crazy with buying playing cards. I think I have like 100, 150, probably somewhere around there. But I always have playing cards on me. If you have some free time and you have people nearby, really good for playing games. Again, I just tend to always have some sort of playing cards on me. It's not always these ones, but these are my favorite. These are the Monarchs by Theory 11. And super good quality. They last forever. And yeah, I just love them. I said I was going to get back to this, and this is my Gerber Prybrid. For about 20 bucks, you get a pretty good utility blade. Mine wore out and I haven't replaced it yet, but it's got 3 stops. You got a pretty hard stop in the middle where the blade would extend out, and a fully extended where you switch out the blade just by pressing this in. And tracks down, you have a pry bar and a nail puller at the end, a spot for a lanyard, which I have utilized here, as well as a bottle opener. And this, the handle material is G10. I got mine in OD green. As you'll see once we get further into the video, I like OD green a lot. I had a fully OD green carry for a while, and kind of been mixed up now that I have different gear and everything like that. But this thing is awesome. I use this every single day. Really useful for breaking down cardboard when, you know, you don't want to have to sharpen another blade, but this thing is super useful. Gerber Prybrid. My multi-tool that I've been carrying around for a while is the Leatherman Free T2. And I love this. It's simple, it's small, compact, has everything I need it to. I have a secondary blade if there's something that doesn't really need, or if this isn't readily accessible for me to cut anything, then I'll use this. I don't really carry this for the blade necessarily. I carry it for the tools, which are a small flathead, a large flathead / pry bar, and is this, no, this is, maybe this doesn't have a file. I could have swore this had a file. Anyway, and a Phillips tip. Built into the little flathead is an awl on the underside, which I don't really use, but this is really useful, especially for my job. I love this thing, love carrying it. And that pretty much does it for the exact things that I carry. Again, those specific items I carry with me every single day. Now, I always have a knife and I always have a flashlight. The exact knife and the exact flashlight that I carry is different. So for my flashlights, the 2 that I go between right now are both Olights. I have one Olight i3T EOS, and it says Desert Tan, but this is almost more of a like aged copper kind of finish. I was a bit surprised because it looked in the pictures a lot brighter of a color than this brown. It looked like cardboard brown. So I got this, and I almost thought that they sent me the wrong one. I accidentally got copper, but this is definitely not copper. It's their Desert Tan color. Again, the Olight i3T EOS has a max output of 180 lumens, I believe. I think this is 180 lumens. But if I just need something light, and I know that I'm not going to be working, like I said, I work in AC, so if I'm not working in attics or anything like that, this is the one I'll carry. And if I need something a bit more substantial, I have the Olight i5T Plus. And this one is a 500 lumen light. And this takes on a lot of my heavy duty lights. It's a pen light. In all of the Olights are IPX rated. I don't know specifically what they're rated to, but this is 2 AA batteries. Yes, 2 AA batteries in here. 1 single AAA battery in here. These tend to last me quite a while. I haven't changed the batteries on these specific lights in quite a while. There's a pretty substantial size difference, being that this is 2 AA's and this is a single AAA. But in my pocket organizer, this really doesn't have an issue with fitting. Again, I'll typically always keep my flashlight in this pocket, and the i5T Plus fits fantastic. The i3T EOS fits a bit better, but both will do the job and both will go in my pocket regardless. And lastly is my knives. And these are all the knives that are currently like in my heavy rotation. I have a lot more knives, but these ones are the ones that I find picking up more often than not. We'll go from left to right. Here we have, if I can even flick this, the QSP Penguin. For the last, I want to say 2 weeks, this has been my main work knife. I've scraped the finish off of this tip pretty good. I was cutting, what was I cutting? A zip tie off of a metal box, and the tip caught the edge of the lid on it and sliced the finish right off of there. As well as been using this to pry up some zip ties, and the finish is wearing off there. But I haven't needed to sharpen it in a while, and it still is really sharp. I do need to work on the pivot. The pivot on this was stupid tight when I got it, to the point where it hurt my thumb and made indentations in my thumb when I tried to flick it. Now I got it to a point where I can reverse flick it pretty well. I don't think I'll ever get it dropped shut because it is on washers, it's not on bearings, so I don't think that that's even possible. But for 35 bucks, I can't complain. Next up is the Civivi Praxis. This is absolutely one of my favorites to carry. It's got a good size to it. If you want to choke up, you can do that as well. But as far as work knives go, this knife is fantastic. 9CR13 blade. Yeah, 9CR13. Liner lock with pretty good access to the liner. It's not great, but it's pretty good. The ergonomics on this are fantastic. My fingers fall right where those grooves are, and this thing just, no matter what I put it through, it still keeps going. And it is on bearings, which I love. For a $42 knife, to get bearings, a big chunk of 9CR13, and amazing action, you can't beat it. I love Civivi knives, and the Praxis is my favorite of the Civivis. I can reverse flick it with gloves on. If you check out I can't do it without gloves. My fingers are too slippery, but with gloves on, I can reverse flick this hands down every single time. But that is the Praxis. And this one I tend to carry more on weekends as opposed to work. The AUS-8 steel has not, maybe I just have a bad run, or maybe just the AUS-8 in general. This thing is dirty. I have not cleaned this or taken it out in a while. But the Boker Kalashnikov, this is the Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive in the Boba Fett colorway. I am a huge nerd for Star Wars, and as soon as I saw these, I picked both the black coated blade and the satin finished, I think is a bead blasted finish blade. Picked both of those up. I carried the bead blasted for work for about 3 days, and then it started getting rust spots. So I haven't carried this at work. The AUS-8 just isn't where my preference is as far as steel goes for work. But for weekends where I'm not really using it a ton, I love this thing. Aluminum handles. I need to get the new pocket clips that they just released for this. I need to get that new pocket clip. Haven't done it yet, but that is on my list. But the Boker Kalashnikov, awesome, awesome blade. The next one I tend to go to is the Sencut Watuga. As far as work goes, this is fantastic, especially with the button lock. You have insanely good action with one hand. When you don't have both hands accessible, this is fantastic. With the green, OD green micarta is wearing in beautifully. D2 blade and really, really attractive Warncliffe style with this thumb. I don't want to call it a ramp, but I'm going to call it a groove or recess when you're choking up, or just normally. I feel like it works better when you're choking up. You can get really precise cuts with this. But this thing is fantastic. Worn the finish off of the tip here. Awesome, awesome blade. And for the knife that was my everyday carry, I everyday carried this for a long, long time. What is this? Oh. That's part of working in a gritty, dirty job. You get stuff all over your knives. That's just a little bit of duct sealant. Not to worry, it comes right off. But the Benchmade Griptilian is a fantastic, fantastic knife. I absolutely love this thing. This was my first and so far my only like higher end knife. I tend to stick more towards budget gear. I don't typically love to spend over $100 for a knife, just because I'm so hard on my knives, and I don't want to baby a knife. I want to use a knife for what it's intended to do, and I don't want to baby it. But this was a Father's Day gift, my first Father's Day. My son was born earlier this year. And so my wife got this for me as my Father's Day gift. And it has been absolutely fantastic. I love this knife. Every single part of this knife, I absolutely love. The ergonomics are killer comfortable in the hand. Drop point blade, S30V steel, FRN handles, and I did add a lanyard and this pocket clip courtesy of Lince Northwest. This is their industrial heat finish, and it looks beautiful on this knife. I do want to upgrade the scales to some Applied Weapons Tech scales. Again, I say I don't love spending money on an expensive knife, and here is a, for me, expensive. I know in the realm of EDC, this is pretty average and maybe on the lower end of prices, but for me, this is expensive. And to spend the $70 on the aftermarket scales is a bit of a jump for me, but for this knife, I think I'm willing to, because it's fantastic, but I think I would tend to carry it more if it had better quality scales and not the cheap plastic. Or it's not cheap plastic, but it feels like cheap plastic. So I just want it, for me, it's an expensive knife, and I want it to feel like an expensive knife. As far as fit and finish, it feels expensive, but the scales just, they don't. And I get why, to cut down weight and price and everything like that. But all of that aside, fantastic knife. Carried this for probably 2 months straight when I got it. And again, I work in AC and I work in attics. And if I'm carrying this and I lose it in an attic, I'm going to be devastated. So this, these two are kind of my more weekend light duty carry knives. Drastically different in prices. This one I know can take a beating. I just don't want to beat it up. And then the last one here on the table is new to me, but this is the Petrified Fish Beluga. And this thing is a monster of a knife. Super thick, beefy, K110 steel. I think it's Bowler is the Bowler K110, but in every single aspect of the steel performs and is basically the same as D2. Black coated blade, black G10 handles, black paracord with a little brass cap on here that I drilled out. And I don't know, I wanted to add a bead, but I didn't want to pay 20 bucks for a bead. And I have tons of these laying around, so I figured I could drill a hole in the top and make it into a bead. I like it. You may not, but that's fine. But the petrified fish beluga for 45 bucks, 50 bucks is what I picked this up for. Front flipper on bearings. Can reverse flick it, no problem. I can't okay. Every single time I say on video that I can't thumb flick it, I get it first try. Got it first try in the review I did of this and just got it first try again. Front flipper is fantastic. I've heard people complain about it, but for me, it's worked so good. I love this as a work knife because I can beat this to crap and not have to worry about it because it's 45 bucks. If it breaks, I replace it, no problem. Again, this is on bearings. It did come with washers as well. So that's really cool that if you don't want the bearings, you can convert it to washers, no problem. Again, this has kind of gone on for a while, but these are my main EDC knives. The Penguin specifically has been in my pocket the most. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lay out my EDC for you guys to take a look at. In its fullness. And some of you may be looking at me thinking, dang, that's a lot of stuff that you carry in your pockets. It is, but they're also my pockets and I can fill them and carry what I need, how I feel like I need to. And you might be thinking to yourself, that's a bit excessive to have all this stuff in your pockets. And it may be, but the thing of it is I use all of this every single day. Half of this goes into this pouch right here because I fit okay, that's not going to fit there. I'm going to put it back here. Boom. 75% of my EDC goes in this pouch right here. And this pouch sits in my front left pocket all the time. All the time. And I have zero issues with it. So the rest leaves this right here. Again, this I really only carry on me if I'm carrying a bag or a jacket. I don't carry this every single day. It's more so at nights, weekends, or like on vacation. So I wanted to include this, but just know that this is not really part of my EDC. This is just kind of an honorable mention that I do carry often, just not every day. But that leaves these three things to go: this in my back right pocket, along with my wallet, and this in my back left. And if my Penguin or if my, dang, that came out. But if my EDC knife is not in my organizer, because either it's the size of a Civivi Praxis or the petrified fish beluga, if it's a bigger knife and doesn't fit in here, it'll be in my front right pocket along with my phone that I'm recording on. But that's my EDC. I have, again, you may EDC different things and you may have a different definition for EDC. I know a lot of people think EDC means you carry the exact same gear every single day. For me, I carry categories of items every day. I carry a light, a multi-tool, a knife, a watch. I forgot to mention the watch. I picked this up at Walmart. I used to wear an Apple Watch Series 4. I want to say it was either a Series 3 or Series 4, but I didn't love smartwatches. I hated always looking down at my wrist. I hated having to charge it, having to worry about, oh, I can't wear a watch today because it's dead. So I went into Walmart, picked this one up. I'm not entirely sure of the model number. I've tried looking it up and I can't really find it. So this may be just a generic Casio watch it from Walmart, but it has served me well. Again, all I really need it for is the date and time. That's all I need a watch for. I don't need anything fancy. I don't need anything to track my steps or anything. But again, I have categories of things I carry with me. I always have a knife, wallet, field notes cover, pocket organizer, flashlight, multi-tool, pry bar of sorts, utility knife, and permanent marker. Always one of those things is in my pockets. The exact wallet or knife, you know, I may not always carry the QSP Penguin, but I always carry a knife, which happens to be today the QSP Penguin. And that is how I carry my EDC. That's how I classify my EDC. Again, some of you may do it differently, and that's totally fine. That's what I love about this community, is everybody does things differently. Everybody has different ways that they do it. Everybody carries different things, and it's awesome. I love talking to people about the gear that I carry, different preferences, different uses. But overall, this is my EDC. If you like what you see, like, subscribe, and comment. Comment down below what you guys carry. I'd be interested to look and see what you guys have in your pockets. And again, if you're new here, welcome, and hopefully you don't stay new here for long. My Instagram at everyday.carry_ for daily everyday carry related content. And when I say daily, I mean daily. Sometimes I wish I could post more than once a day, because there are times where I'm in a setting and take pictures, and I enjoy posting. I enjoy creating content. And if you like what you see, help support it. You know, the more support I get, the more I can do this. I would love to turn this into a job or a career. Again, this is just my hobby right now. I just like doing it. So hope you guys enjoy. And until next time, carry on. Peace.